In my worst nightmares, I wake up, spread all over the valley but contained like a big pond. Find myself wondering if I will ever be able to escape this whimsical valley, because here, no matter how loud I sing, my songs will always hit a high hill and echo back to me, reaching nobody. Because here, no matter how hard I run, I will always end up in the same phase of a giant curve, being nobody. Because here, no matter how big of risks I take, their ripples will always be absorbed by loose mud in the foothills, chasing nobody. They say thousands of years ago the Kathmandu Valley was a lake, until a sorcerer cut a hill and let the water out. Maybe I am just like the river, waiting for a sorcerer to drain me out on my journey. In my subtle realities, I find myself lying on the dirty grass in the Turikal ground, pondering at clouds and daydreaming, like a dislocated shoulder of Kathmandu while every soldiers of Kathmandu are jogging by me, hopeful about protecting a city whose biggest threat is Mother Nature herself. I lay like a dislocated shoulder of Kathmandu while every other parts overfunction, constantly chasing riches that most of them will end up not getting. And as I question myself if all of this city rush will make me lose my muse, I hear a madman dragging himself through the crowd singing, I live in a town where nobody dares to sing. I live in a town where nobody dares to sing. In my worst nightmares, I wake up in a coffin in the middle of an ancient spice market, my corpse covered in turmeric powder, my breath filled with coriander seeds, my nose smelling like rock salt. When I gaze around, I notice below a board that reads, You are now in Asan. A peanut vendor is doing good business. He is tearing pages from a notebook and rolling them into a paper cone to put the peanuts in. It is the same notebook that I wrote my poems in when I was in fourth grade. Poems long lost and much missed. Poems written even before I understood I loved writing. I angrily ask the Poetry Rights Commission while little beautiful poems are being openly molested and sold in a town for a price next to nothing. Why are they just watching the crime? But I take my case back when I see the peanut vendor's daughter gladly jumping around, showing off the first pencil that her dad had bought for her. I suddenly understand the true price of my poems. In my subtle realities, I often find myself bunking college in winters to watch people disappear into the mist in the Bijuli Bazaar bridge. I see people putting on the right lipstick, the right earring, the right collar tie, but the wrong face, always insecure of showing off the real one. I see people always quickly moving, waiting very less, running away in no time, always insecure of being left behind. I see people skip a line, skip a traffic signal, skip a heartbeat, always insecure of not having bought enough time. I see people bottling up their feelings inside, always insecure of their own voice. And then I hear a little girl loudly recite from a lost granddaddy's old diary. I live in a town where nobody dares to sing. I live in a town where nobody dares to sing. Little girl loudly recite